As designers, looking back at our past work and realizing that maybe that logo didn't exactly come out the way that we wanted to is just part of the journey. You are not a real designer if you haven't regretted at least one of your old logos. But this doesn't mean that we can fix it and use the skill and knowledge that we have today to give it a new life. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. Ciao besties, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Viviana, and if you're new here, on this channel we talk about graphic design, we design brand identities, we rebrand, a lot of things. As you probably have guessed, today we're going to redesign one of my old logos. In a past video, we have reviewed together some of my worst designs over the years, and yes, that logo is one of them. I decided to choose this logo because I actually really like the concept behind it, and I think that we can do a better job now, definitely. So I know that there were a lot about logos in that video, but the logo that I decided to redesign today is Daydream. Also, side note, I was completely convinced that this was called a daydreaming. Cue Harry sound that we cannot play for copyright reasons. I know you were all thinking it. Anyway, if you haven't watched my last video, first of all, go and watch it because it was so fun to roast all of my old designs. But if you have watched it, you might remember that Daydream was a children entertainment agency, basically, that never really launched. Thank God, because I don't want to be associated with that logo. The concept behind this logo, and you can actually see it in the old logo as well, was like a kid doodling on a piece of paper and like daydreaming. But I did it in a really simple and expected way, like using the script font was like, ugh, I don't really like this kind of font, so not anymore. I want to bring this concept back, but with a twist. I don't want to put this doodling feeling in the typography, but in the rest of the branding. I love this idea of a kid like envisioning their perfect birthday party and just doodling on a piece of paper. I have this idea, I have this concept. I cannot wait to get started on this. So let's jump on Adobe Illustrator and let's do some magic. But before jumping in, you know the drill. If you find value in this video, make sure to show your support and leave a like because it really helps the channel. So thank you if you do that. Alright, let's go. So here we are on Adobe Illustrator. As you can see, I already chosen a color palette. I played around these colors and I am in love with this palette. It's so cute, honestly. I am literally obsessed with this blue, and I think it works so well with the oranges but also the pinks, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. But as I was saying, I kind of want to keep that doodle feeling. I'm not really into like script fonts, so I was thinking that we could use like a really bold and like strong font and do, you know, a little edits like I usually do, and then maybe create some actual doodles. As you know, if you watch any of my videos, I don't draw, I'm not good at illustrating, so I was thinking of doing like cute little shapes with faces. But let's not jump to the illustrations just yet. Let's focus on the typography first. I want to use a font that is just so amazing. It's called Thunder. It has so many weights, like it's an entire typeface, and I absolutely love it. So this is kind of where I want to go with the bold. Maybe let's just add just a tiny bit of spacing. Of course, this is just too simple, like we want to do something recognizable, obviously. So I was thinking of doing a little bit type manipulation, as I always do. I kind of want to separate the word daydream, well, not separate, but just create some sort of difference so that it stands out. I was thinking of writing the A in italic, and I know it looks a little bit weird, but we're gonna fix it. I still want to keep that doodle feeling, so like that movement or like writing, but I don't want to use a script font. Okay, so this is what we're starting with, and I also want to use like a tool that I don't really use a lot, which is the curvature tool. This tool is like very underrated because I honestly never used to use it, but it has some big potential and I love it. So first of all, before doing any sort of type manipulation, you have to outline the text first. So let's start with the A. Let's grab the curvature tool, and honestly I just want to do something like this. This is already so much fun. Oh my god, I love this. I want to join the A and the Y using the pencil tool because again, it's gonna give us that like feeling of a swoosh, kind of. Let's first do something very rough, which is this. Oh my god, this looks so bad. Let's combine the two shapes. Okay, I'm also playing with the direct selection tool to kind of replicate this curve that I created with the A also on the Y. Then we grab the smooth tool because this looks rough. One trick that I always do when I see lines that are a little bit like wonky is just very simple. and it's simply removing the anchor points. Like here you can see that there's this anchor point that's making the line wonky, so you just remove it. Same thing here. Like here you can see that it's a little bit wonky, so I'm bringing this also here, and then I'm just getting rid of this one and this one, so it's gonna be like perfectly in line with the rest of the typography. It's looking pretty good. I'm just gonna play with the curve a little bit more. You know what? There's something not working. I said that I wanted to separate like the two words, but I kept the D as like a regular bold, and I think that I also have to put this in italic, so let me just do that. Yeah, okay, it makes more sense now. I don't know why I didn't do this before. Okay, so I edited a little bit more the curve because I wanted to be like even more like curvy. Kind of looks like a drop, I don't know why, but I like this. And of course I want to add something because, you know, the Y is kind of getting lost, so I think that I'm just gonna do the old offset path tool because it never fails us. Why is it like that? Oh my god, sometimes Illustrator does like this weird thing, so like, are you okay, hon? Anyway, okay, now I like it a little bit more just because it's subtle and you can totally read like a dream, but you know, it kind of makes they pop. I want to keep the logo as simple as possible, so I think that this works. Okay, so for now I think that this is gonna be it, because before showing you what I'm thinking about for the logo mark, I want to do the illustrations first. Of course, having an entire branding and having multiple logos and logo marks is essential for any business, but I think that since Daydream is like an agency, it doesn't really need a lot of logo renditions, also because it doesn't have any packaging. I think that they're just gonna have like a business card and maybe like uniforms, so I don't think that we need to do like 1,000 different logos in this case. But this doesn't mean that we cannot create an entire brand identity, which is exactly what we're gonna do with this illustration. As I said, I wanted to keep like this doodle feeling and really make it look like a kid did them, so I was thinking of doing like some fun shapes. But before doing that, I have to go on Envato Elements because I need a different brush. I want to use like a texture brush, almost like a pencil or a crayon. So I'm gonna go on Envato Elements and I'm gonna look for the perfect brush. If you don't know what that is, Envato Elements is an online library with up to 59 million creative assets. You can find literally anything there, and I love that they also have brushes. If you want to try out their service, they have a 7 days free trial that you can access by clicking the first link in my description. Okay, so let me show you what I'm thinking. I got this brush here that I absolutely adore. I'm literally talking about like simple shapes, like even something like this, but using this brush. And then I want to create like some little characters. I think this is so adorable, even if it's so like simple. So I'm just gonna create 2 circles and then just a line, and then I'm using the curvature tool to create a little smile. Look at this. This is so cute. I want to create like some shapes like this because I think that they're gonna work like perfectly in a pattern. I'm already picturing it. So let's just design another one and then we're gonna fast forward because I want to do a lot. This is what I was thinking. Just gonna have fun and just create some shapes, and I will see you when I'm done. Alrighty, we are back. I created other shapes and I actually decided to like ditch this one because it's too simple. These are all the characters that I created. As you can see, I alternated like different kind of smiley faces and eyes. I also decided to fill them with color because now my vision is like coming together, and now that you're seeing what I wanted to do with the illustrations, we can move back to the logo mark. I'm gonna take this letter, and I don't know if you're seeing this. This kind of looks like a mouth. Like if you turn it around, I'm thinking we could use the curvature tool again to kind of make it look like a smile. Also, to call back to the rest of the logo, I think it looks very cute. I don't think that we should use this one in the main logo, but having it just on the logo mark just ties everything perfectly, I think. Now let's move on to like putting everything together because this is what we have all been waiting for. So for the white, I'm thinking about like a creamy white, but not too much. Like I still want it to be very white to kind of remind of paper. And I also want to create like some banners with all these illustrations like this. I want them to like frame the entire thing, and of course I've used a lot of colors, a lot of color combos to kind of alternate everything, and I think this looks super cute. The only thing missing is a little bit of texture. I'm grabbing a paper texture. I've of course turned down the opacity a little bit just because I don't want it to be like too strong. Come on, this is so cute. And this is exactly what I wanted. Something really simple and professional, but really fun, because obviously it's gonna be targeted towards kids, but the kids are not the people actually booking the party. It's the parents. So it also has to seem like a business that knows what they're doing. Exactly for that reason, I also want to work on other assets. I was thinking about some of the assets that an agency like this would have. And as I mentioned, I was thinking about like uniforms, but mainly one thing that I think this business has to have is business cards. And you know, we could do the expected thing, just use a rectangular business card and call it a day. Or we could use part of this branding and create something really cool. So I was thinking that since we are using all these fun shapes, then why don't we use one of these shapes to be the shape of the business card? Of course, nobody is surprised. I didn't find any mock-up with the kind of shape that I was thinking about. So why don't we do our own mock-up? Let's go Photoshop and let's try to recreate using textures and shadows an actual mock-up. So first, let's create our shape here actually, and then we're gonna move on to Photoshop to make them realistic. Okay, so this is the standard size for business card, but this is boring, so we're gonna do something a little bit more fun, and I was thinking something like this. It has the same exact size, but the shape is way more fun. For the front, I want to do basically the same exact thing that we did here. So I'm just gonna copy everything there and see how it fits. Basically something like this. I absolutely love how I created these three like rows. So we have the illustrations, the logo, and then the illustrations. Like, it is so fun, but it is like so, I don't know, professional. Like, it really seems like a legit business. Especially with this kind of businesses, sometimes things seem like a little bit up in the air, like improvise. I know, because the original logo was exactly that. So I'm loving this energy. For the back, I'm thinking about maybe using this bright yellow. Okay, I've written down some information that obviously is not real. I thought that we could add like one little detail that could pull everything together. These shapes that I created kind of look like the first shape that we made, so I thought that we could add like some little faces here and there to just tie everything together. I think they would look so cute. Overall, I love the simplicity of everything. Even if we have like these fun and funky illustrations, it is still very clean. So now that we have both sides of our business cards, let's jump on Adobe Photoshop and let's make them realistic. So first thing I want to do is obviously put some color in the background, because the cream of the front of the business card is not really that visible. I think I'm gonna choose the blue. Yes, I absolutely love this. Now the first thing to do, I think it's adding a little bit of shadows. Of course it's gonna be black, and it already looks pretty good. Let's play a little bit with the settings. I want it to be like a little bit on the side. The other thing that I wanted to do is add a little bit of texture. First of all, I want to add a little bit of textures on the filters that we have here in Photoshop, and then maybe we're gonna also add like a little bit of paper texture. I think I'm gonna use this one here. I added this picture here. I don't really want this fold to show, but I don't think it will. And I want it to be only on the paper, so what I'm doing is just selecting the actual paper and then creating a mask, so it creates a perfect mask on the business cards. And then I'm just gonna play with the settings here until I find the one that I like the most. I think it's gonna be this one, and maybe alter the opacity just a tiny bit. Not a huge difference, but I see it, and that's all that matters. If we zoom in, we can see a little bit of texture, which I absolutely love. I want to add just another element to make it a little bit more fun, because you know, one of the biggest tips that I gave when I'm doing mockups is to brand your mockup, and using patterns is just an amazing way. Okay, here we are back on Adobe Illustrator, and now, just like a magic trick, a perfect already designed pattern will appear. Let's see if it works. here it is. But I think that we need another kind of pattern to go on the background of that mockup that I was talking about. So I'm gonna do another magic trick and outline everything. Okay, here we have it. I love this. I think that it's even cooler like this because it really reminds of doodles, and you can really see like the texture of the brush that I use. So let's bring this on the mockup and see how it works. It looks so cute. Oh my god, I am obsessed with this. Okay, I think that we're done for now. I will see you in a little bit to present you the entire branding. So we have redesigned together the entire brand identity for Daydream. We have given it a new look, and I'm so excited to show you. So without further ado, let's meet the new face of Daydream. I had such a great time doing this. Let me know if you want me to do this again in the future, because as you saw, I have a lot of bad logos, so we could do this for weeks. If you enjoyed this video and you would like to see more content like this, you can subscribe to the channel. I have a lot of design videos, but also a lot of videos about brand design, so you know, I do it all. You can follow me on all my social media. I hop on my stories on Instagram like literally every day, so if you want to see a little bit more about my work and me, you can follow me there. But recently my TikTok has been popping off, like I don't know what's going on, so if you want to give me a follow there as well, it would be much appreciated. I don't know, the usual, leave a like, show your support, because it really helps the channel. We have redesigned the logo and then created the entire brand identity for this business. But if you're still not sure why a business needs an entire brand identity instead of just a logo, then check out this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you again in another video next week. Ciao!